The Mars film crew was evacuated using an emergency protocol that officially doesn't exist. The rescue mission launched before the distress signal was even sent, as if SpaceX knew something was going to happen. Tom Cruise's stunt double was left behind and hasn't been heard from in 8 months. The crew members who returned won't speak about their experience, but they all have the same recurring nightmare about red skies and voices that aren't human. But that's just the beginning of what really happened on Sol 247.
The first human movie production on Mars was supposed to be humanity's greatest achievement. Tom Cruise, at 62, had convinced Elon Musk to fund the most expensive film in history, a $3.2 billion action epic shot entirely on the Red Planet. For 6 months, everything proceeded flawlessly. Then Sol 247 happened. Dr. Sarah Chen, a former NASA communications specialist who worked on the Mars project, was the first to notice the anomalies in the official reports. $2.8 billion worth of SpaceX equipment was suddenly declared irretrievably damaged with no explanation, Dr. Chen revealed in a protected interview. The insurance claim lists the cause as unforeseen environmental factors, but geological surveys show no storms, earthquakes, or equipment failures. The equipment manifest told an impossible story. Military-grade communication arrays designed to withstand Mars storms and cosmic radiation were found completely destroyed. But Mars weather data for Sol 247 showed perfect conditions: minimal wind, clear skies, stable atmospheric pressure. What can destroy equipment designed for the harshest conditions in the solar system during perfect weather? Dr. Chen asked. That's the question NASA refuses to answer. The evacuation itself defied standard space protocols. Emergency rescue missions require months of planning, fuel calculations, and trajectory adjustments. But the rescue ship launched from Earth orbit before any official distress signal was transmitted. Former SpaceX engineer Marcus Webb discovered the timeline discrepancy while reviewing launch logs. The rescue mission launched at 14:37 GMT, Webb documented. The first distress beacon from Mars wasn't activated until 16:22 GMT, nearly 2 hours later. Either SpaceX has developed faster-than-light communication, or they knew something was going to happen before it happened. Most disturbing was the crew manifest. 15 people went to Mars, 14 returned. Tom Cruise's longtime stunt double, James Richardson, was listed as missing presumed lost, with no explanation of how or when he disappeared. Richardson had been with Tom for 12 years, explained film industry insider Lisa Santos. He never missed a day of work, never took unnecessary risks. For him to just vanish without explanation during a routine film shoot, something went very wrong up there. The returned crew members signed NDAs so comprehensive they covered not just what happened on Mars, but any unusual experiences, unexplained phenomena, or psychological changes they might experience afterward.
The Tom Cruise and Elon Musk who returned from Mars were different. Industry insiders noticed immediately, but the changes were subtle enough that the public remained unaware. Celebrity behavior analyst Dr. Rebecca Martinez was hired by an unnamed Hollywood studio to assess Tom's post-Mars interviews. His speech patterns changed, Dr. Martinez documented. Tom Cruise has always been intense, but his rhythm was predictable. After Mars, he glances upward every 47 seconds during conversations, as if listening to something only he can hear. The medical evidence was even more concerning. Leaked hospital records showed both Tom and Elon undergoing weekly examinations at an undisclosed facility. The treatments involved medication that didn't appear in any pharmaceutical database. I cross-referenced the compound signatures with every known drug manufacturer, revealed pharmaceutical researcher Dr. Kevin Park. The molecular structure doesn't match anything produced on Earth. Either they're taking experimental medications that violate FDA regulations, or the medication isn't from Earth. Both men bore identical marks, small, precise scars behind their left ears that hadn't been there before the Mars mission. When questioned about the scars during separate interviews, both gave the same response, word for word: minor surgical procedure, routine health maintenance. The NASA medical files that were accidentally made public for 3 hours painted a disturbing picture. Blood work showed unusual cellular activity. Brain scans revealed new neural pathways that hadn't existed before Mars. Most impossibly, both men tested positive for trace elements that don't occur naturally in Earth's atmosphere. The elements in their bloodstream are consistent with Mars' atmospheric composition, explained exobiologist Dr. Lisa Wong. But that's impossible. The human body can't integrate alien atmospheric elements and survive. Yet somehow, they're not just surviving, they're thriving. Communication blackouts during the final weeks on Mars had been explained as solar storm interference, but audio specialist Alex Morgan obtained fragments of the final transmissions through a Freedom of Information Act request. On Sol 247, all communication went silent for exactly 47 minutes, Morgan revealed. When contact resumed, Tom's voice sounded different, the same words, but different vocal pattern recognition signatures, and there were background sounds that NASA's computers couldn't identify. The voice analysis software detected frequency patterns that human vocal cords can't produce. The background audio contained what Morgan described as harmonic sequences that don't match any known Earth or space equipment. The true extent of what happened on Mars began to emerge when former crew members started experiencing identical symptoms. 8 months after returning to Earth, 3 film technicians developed the same neural anomalies seen in Tom and Elon's medical scans. Neurologist Dr. James Wright was brought in to consult on the cases. "The brain changes are systematic," Dr. Wright explained. "New neural pathways forming in specific regions associated with memory consolidation and behavioral control. It's as if something is installing new programming." The crew members' families reported identical behavioral changes: decreased emotional responses, increased focus on technical tasks, and an obsessive interest in space exploration and Mars colonization. Most disturbing was their shared sleep pattern. All reported the same recurring dream. "Red skies and voices that aren't human," described one family member. "They wake up speaking words that aren't in any Earth language, then forget what they said minutes later." The investigation took a darker turn when aerospace engineer David Chen discovered the evacuation protocol used to retrieve the Mars crew. The protocol is designated Omega-7, and it's not in any official SpaceX or NASA manual, Chen revealed. It's a rescue procedure for compromised personnel extraction under biological hazard conditions. But Mars doesn't have biological hazards. It's a dead planet. The Omega-7 protocol included specific medical quarantine procedures and neural monitoring requirements that suggested the agency knew crew members might return, changed. Digital forensics expert Maria Santos uncovered the most disturbing evidence in SpaceX's encrypted communications. Internal emails from the week before Sol 247 revealed that ground control was expecting contact protocols to be activated. They weren't planning a film shoot, Santos realized. They were planning first contact. The movie was a cover story. The final piece of evidence came from atmospheric readings taken by Mars satellites during Sol 247. Energy signatures showed massive electromagnetic disturbances at the film site, disturbances that matched no known natural phenomena. Something with incredible power was active at that location, confirmed atmospheric physicist Dr. Sarah Kim. The energy readings suggest technology far beyond human capability. As the investigation deepened, a pattern emerged. Tom Cruise and Elon Musk weren't just changed by their Mars experience. They were actively promoting increased Mars exploration, pushing for faster colonization timelines, and advocating for more human missions to the Red Planet. They're not just supporting Mars exploration, Dr. Martinez observed. They're recruiting for it. Every interview, every public appearance includes advocacy for sending more people to Mars, as if they have a quota to fill. The crew members who returned have all accepted positions with SpaceX's Mars program. Their families report they've become emotionally distant, focused entirely on preparation for future Mars missions. The most chilling discovery came from signal intelligence specialists who monitored space communications. Since Sol 247, there have been regular transmissions from Mars to Earth on frequencies not used by any human technology. The signals are being sent to very specific locations on Earth, revealed communications expert Dr. Lisa Park. Locations where Tom Cruise and Elon Musk have recently visited. It's as if Mars is checking in on them. The investigation team realized they weren't dealing with a simple mission failure or equipment malfunction. They were documenting the first successful infiltration of Earth by non-human intelligence. Tom Cruise and Elon Musk had returned from Mars, but something had returned with them. Something that was now using their influence, their resources, and their reputations to prepare Earth for what was coming next. The film production had been a recruitment operation. The evacuation was an insertion protocol. And humanity's two most influential advocates for space exploration were no longer entirely human. The question wasn't what happened on Mars. The question was, how many more recruits would they need before the real mission began? As Tom Cruise announced his next film would feature the largest cast ever assembled for a space epic, and Elon Musk accelerated SpaceX's Mars colonization timeline, the signs pointed to one terrifying conclusion. Sol 247 hadn't been first contact. It had been the beginning of Earth's recruitment into something much larger than humanity had ever imagined. And the recruitment phase was almost complete.